Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to Future Coders. Today in this video, we are going to be building this random emoji generator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This is going to be a very beginner friendly JavaScript project. So let's have a look at it first. So as you can see, we have this random emoji. We can click on this button and every time you click on this button, it generates a new random emoji. As you can see. Yeah, this is going to be a fun project. So before we actually start building this, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and also don't forget to leave a like on this video. In this channel you will find projects related to HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's get started. So let's start building this project. We are going to need three files. As you already know, we need an index.html, a styles.css and a script.js file. Alright, now let's start with our HTML file. Here I will generate a boilerplate for HTML and change the title to random emoji generator. And be sure to always link your CSS file as well as your script file. Alright, once you are done with it, let's start. Let's open this with live server. As you can see, we have a blank template. So let's start building with, let's start adding HTML. I'll create a div with a container, class name container. Inside this container, I will have an S2. That's going to be a title, random emoji generator. Below that, we will have a P tag with an ID of emoji container. This is going to contain our emoji. We are going to generate our emoji using our JavaScript. So right below that, we'll have a button which is going to say generate. All right. So that's it for HTML. Later we need to add an on click so that whenever we click on this button, it generates a new random emoji. All right. Before we actually style our HTML, let's actually begin with JS. So inside our JS, we are going to need a collection of our emojis, right? So here I have created our collection of emojis. Don't worry, you can get all the source code of this project in on my website, which I will provide the link to in the description of this video. So in the JavaScript, I will create a function called get random emoji, and inside this function, let's create a emoji variable. We need to generate random emojis from this array, right? So one way we can do is using mat.random. So let's do mat.random and see what we actually get. Let's console log and see what we actually get in emoji. So in order to trigger this get random emoji, we need to call this, right? So here we'll add an on click on this button and let's copy this function name and call it. So whenever user clicks on the generate button, and for now we are generating a random number. So let's see what that random number is going to be. All right, let's open up our console. Let's bring this console to the down. All right, that looks good. So let's click on generate. As you can see, there is this random number being generated, right? So this is what math.random is used for. We only want random numbers to be between this length of the array, right? So our array starts at 0 and maybe I don't know ends at 22, right? There might be 22 emojis here. So what we can do is we can just multiply this math.random's result into whatever the length of the array is. It's going to be emojis dot length. All right, now let's actually see. As you can see, we are getting a random number between from the starting from 0 to whatever the last emoji's index is going to be. All right, as you can see there is an 88, right? Maybe I don't know, there can be 88 emojis over here. All right, so now once we have that, as you can see, we also have these points, right? We do decimal points, we don't need that, right? So we can wrap this around math.floor. Now let's see what actually do we have. As you can see, we are getting a number without any decimal points. All right, that's what we needed right now. All right, now once we are getting the index, now we are able to generate a random number, and we need to grab the emoji which is present at that index every time. So, and display it over here. So let's do that. Here I will get the document using our DOM. I'll get document by get element by ID, and we have given an ID, right? Let's copy that and paste it over here. So once we have that, I don't know, once we have that element, what we can do is we can just say text content to this emoji. Let's add an equal sign. All right. So now the text content is going to be emoji, but we are not, we are getting the index, right? We are getting the index, but we are not storing the emoji over here. We are storing the index, the number. So what we can do is we can just wrap this emojis into emojis array. So this thing, whatever we have written inside, is going to return an index, and that index, what our emojis does is it will pick the emoji which is present at that index and store it over here, and we will just display it over here. All right, let's see. For the time being, let's also call the get random emoji function whenever our JavaScript is loaded. As you can see, we have a random emojis being generated. Whenever I click on this, as you can see, it generates a new random emoji, right? All right, now coming to the styling part. Let's start styling. So inside of CSS, let's clear out the default margin and padding being applied by the browser. Let's set the box sizing to border box and border none. Let's also set the font family. Let's use this font. And for the body, let's set the background color, which I have background color as this color. Let's see the changes. As you can see, we are seeing the changes. And let's also add a padding of 5 rm to the top and bottom and 0 to the left and right. Now let's target the container which we have here, which is containing our emoji and the heading and the button too. So for the container, I will set the max width of 900 pixels and a margin 0 and auto, so that it centers around the it centers actually, let me just, yeah, as you can see, it centers to the page. Let's minimize this. All right, let's set the background color of the container to white and padding inside 3 rm to 3 rm all around. Border radius 0.5 rm. Box shadow is going to be RGBA of 100 green. Let's also set the blue one to 111 and alpha value is going to be 0.2, and here we need to add 0 pixels, 7 pixels, 29 pixels and 0 pixels. That's it. As you can see, we also have this box shadow, light box shadow, and finally we need to do text align to center. That's it. Now let's target the S2 inside that container. We have the S2, right? Container S2. And we also have paragraph. Let's also target that. We also have that button. So for all these things, we are going to add a margin to the bottom of 1 rem so that we have some spaces. Now the emoji is looking small, right? So let's go ahead and fix that. So for the paragraph, let's set the font size to, let's say, 10 rem. That will be fine. Okay, now our emoji is big. Let's set the container. Now let's target the button. So for the button, I will add some minimal style. Font size 1 rem, padding 0.5 rem to the top and bottom, 1 rem to the left and right, border radius 0.5 rem, background color to this black color. Okay, the color of the text should be white now. To see, now what's left? Let me see the cursor. All right, let's also turn the cursor to pointer, so when we hover on it, yeah, that's what I wanted. So we don't need the console. Let's open up. As you can see, we can generate a new random emoji every time you click on this button. All right, guys. So if you want source code of this project, you can head over to our futurecodersweb.com. There you can find all our projects code. Let me just show you. Yeah, there we have a random emoji generator. All right, you can get all the codes here, HTML, CSS, as well as JavaScript, as you can see, all the code, and you can also download the source code by clicking on this button. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys learned something from this video. Please make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.